Trump family World Liberty Financial was on Fox News. They asked them about Ripple, XRP, and RLUSD, and the co-founder went on to attack RLUSD. It was a very cringe moment. I have to show you this and give you some facts and information about USD1. They're claiming to be a direct competitor for RLUSD. I also have an update here from Nate Garossi about a BlackRock XRP ETF. You have to hear kind of what he's saying and the reason why he believes it's going to happen. And I got some other XRP related news. But first, let's address this.
When I say you're at the dial-up phase of crypto, you are. We have the fastest growing stablecoin on earth at World Liberty Financial. Everything is becoming digitized. Everything is becoming tokenized. We're making the big banks irrelevant, and it's an incredibly exciting time.
There is no doubt that crypto, digital money, is absolutely something that investors wanted to take part in, and it is growing exponentially, in part because of better regulation, clearer under this administration. But
listen,
Zach, other than the fact that people feel that it's a way to, I guess, support the Trump family in getting one of these tokens, what are the reasons it would gain value relative to other crypto? Say, for example, XRP, because XRP actually has a function. It is the token of the Ripple blockchain. Ethereum is the token of the Ether network. So what does this do?
Yeah, so
beyond just being, oh, hey, it's the Trump family coin.
So this is the governance token behind USD1. USD1 is our flagship product. Like Eric said, it's the fastest growing stable coin in the world. We're actually, we have way more market cap today than RLUSD. You just mentioned Ripple.
Way more market cap. Listen to what he's saying here though, right? He's talking about just market cap, right? Because if you go after the partnerships or anything else, you're gonna look real silly.
Right now we're blowing their stable coin out of the water, frankly. We have a little over $2.2 billion in market cap. We have over $500 million in volume a day. And right now we're the second biggest Genius compliant stablecoin.
So you say, Sensei, who is this little pipsqueak, right? Zach Witkoff is actually the son of Steve Witkoff. If you don't know who Steve Witkoff is, he's an American lawyer and real estate investor who became Trump's special envoy to the Middle East. He's the guy that's kind of failed to negotiate surrenders for Ukraine and Russia. And I don't even want to get into this, man. Anyways, that's who this guy is. He's the son of this man. But here is the actual facts about World Liberty compared to USD1. Now, yes, their market cap is 2.2 billion, but you start to look behind the scenes here and you start to find out there's some information here that's not quite adding up. So let's get into it. So USD1, it's on the Ethereum and Binance chain. Why did you pick Binance? Custodian, not disclosed. Institutional focused, heavy DeFi, okay? Orientation. Who are their banking partnerships? Strong Web3 DeFi partnerships, notably Alt5 Sigma for minting and payments. Okay, so they don't have any real bank partnerships, right? Like, what are they gonna move? No confirmed partnerships with large legacy banks. Daily volume 500 million to 1 billion, okay? Growth accelerated by loyalty rewards. Their product is so good that they have to offer people loyalty rewards to use it because, oh wait, you usually offer extra things to people when stuff is not really good, right? Because you need to give them more things because they're using your product that might not be as good as other products on the market. That's why you're getting loyalty rewards? Oh, okay. But it has institutional cross-border treasury management use cases, just no partnerships to speak of. DeFi lending, loyalty rewards, gotta have that twice. Retail payments with planned debit and credit card support. Oh, okay. Emerging markets, rapid growth in regions facing currency instability. And so you look at Ripple's RLUSD, right? XRP and Ethereum, you have about a daily volume of, 386 million. I've seen this daily volume as high as 2 billion. And then you look at the custodian, BNY Mellon, the biggest custodian in the entire world, $53 trillion under management. That is who is Ripple's custodian. Okay, and who else is using Ripple's technology, RLUSD? Well, the second largest bank in America, Bank of America, is using the technology. So you start to realize, like, what's going on here, right? And you dig down a little bit deeper. When you talk about regulated status and trust, RLUSD is NYDFS and MiCA regulated, a rating from blue chip, institutional grade transparency, and best in class custody. USD1 One, no large regulatory disclosures. Faces scrutiny due to high-profile political ties. So let me ask you this question. If this whole thing wasn't connected to Trump and his sons, would anybody be paying this company any light or giving them any money at all? I personally don't think so, because you start to wonder, World Liberty Financial, you couldn't even trade this token when they originally sold it to people. You couldn't buy it, couldn't sell it, couldn't do anything, right? They had this pre-sale and then you just had the tokens in your wallet, but you can't transfer them out. You couldn't do anything like that. They later on had to do a community vote where 99% of the community voted to make the token tradable. That seems a little fishy to me. Like, why would you have a pre-sale, raise money for a token that people got that they couldn't trade? Very, very strange, right? I've heard of things like this in the crypto space before, but usually they come with a four-letter word that comes after it, which is scam. All right, and then what banks are using USD1? There are no confirmed partnerships between World Liberty Financial stablecoin and traditional banks. Instead, USD1 adoption is driven by crypto exchanges. Oh, who would have thought? Binance, Bybit, BitGet, Gate.io. No public-facing evidence of US or EU or Asian banks integrating USD1 for payments. So nobody is going to use it outside of maybe some questionable exchanges, right? Exchanges that have gotten in trouble in the past for doing fraudulent things. Okay, interesting. I also wanted to see, like, what is the core technology here? Primary blockchains, World Liberty Finance, USD1 stablecoin operates on multi-chains, cool. Cross-chain infrastructure, USD1 uses Chainlink's cross-chain interoperability. USD1 is deeply tied to decentralized finance protocols. Proof of reserves, Chainlink oracles are used for real-time, no on-chain, verified on USD1's backing with regular reports. And it says the custodian for some of this is BitGo. Users can mint and redeem USD1 via BitGo managed accounts with no transaction fees. All right, relationship to Aave. Aave connection. There is a direct link between World Liberty Finance and Aave as a DeFi lending protocol. World Liberty Finance previously used Chainlink price oracles and its Aave V3 instance to actively stake substantial ETH through Aave. So they didn't have a new idea here, right? They basically just went and stole other ideas in the crypto space and made this company. Not buying it, man. Not buying it at all. Let's keep it going here before I say something I will regret. Here's Nate Garossi on XRP ETFs.
XRP is loved by retail, so maybe not a lot of institutions are going to be buying an XRP ETF, but there could be a ton of retail demand for an XRP ETF. So I guess that would be my dark horse.
Two things I'll mention real quick there is, and I think you would agree with this, I think Twitter is a pretty good gauge just for like the passion and interest around some of these different crypto assets. And it's undeniable, the XRP army. It's anytime I tweet anything about XRP, the engagement there, just how passionate that group is, like they really believe in it. And I think that's another, I'm not going to get back into the BlackRock argument, but I would think BlackRock looks at that and goes, there's a huge audience here. And I realize a lot of those people are just owning XRP direct, but for whatever reason, it tends to bring out the passion. And I'll tell you, this is just anecdotal, but as you know, I operate in an advisory firm. You're not going to believe this. You know what I've heard more questions about than any other crypto asset over the past year? It's XRP. Yes. It's not Bitcoin.
I'm not surprised.
It's XRP, which is amazing.
Yeah.
All right, and then they get into how amazing HBAR is. If you want to watch that, just all in crypto, go take a look at the rest of it. But that's where it ends with XRP. Also wanted to play this. This is talking about Western Union using Ripple for on-demand liquidity partner. They spent $500 million acquiring a company that uses Ripple's on-demand liquidity. Now, there wasn't anything in the announcement saying the reason that this company was bought, it was because of Ripple's technology, but people are making the leap that maybe that was the reason. Here you go.
XRP is going to go parabolic, and most of you are unwilling to accept it. Western Union, the largest money transfer company on Earth, just dropped $500 million to buy Intermex. Probably scrolled past the headline, but here's what you missed. Intermex is a Ripple on-demand liquidity partner. ODL that runs on XRP. Intermex already moves cash from US to Latin America, utilizing Ripple's rails. Here's an article from 2020 showing that Intermex partners with Ripple for XRP-based remittance corridor. Getting somewhere. Imagine plugging that tech into Western Union's $80 billion a year network across 200 countries. Even a tiny slice of that volume routed through ODL means billions in XRP transactions every year. Fun fact, Western Union tested Ripple years ago, but they didn't commit. They bought a company where ODL is already up and running. Don't have to build it, they just have to keep it on. No CEO kills a system that saves them money and speeds up transfers. Utility drives long-term demand, and this could put the biggest remittance player alive right in the middle of Ripple's ecosystem. It's not hype, it's adoption, the kind of adoption that can force demand to make XRP climb relentlessly over time. It won't happen tomorrow, but when the switch flips, the price will not wait for you. So yeah, keep it.
All right. And then, of course, more and more you're hearing CNBC and some of these news networks talking about crypto adoption and how, institutions are here.
The differentiation your platform has versus Coinbase or Binance, can you explain that in terms of why you've gone that road and why that is a growth path?
Yeah, great question. So we operate an exchange, and then we operate a data business that also has CoinDesk,
yes.
media outfit, and a conference business. And we wake up every day saying, how can we service institutions throughout our organization? We have over 1,000 customers, which is quite a number in the crypto space, which is still growing. And it feels like this may be a good time for crypto because you see the Genius Act coming out of Congress, the Clarity Act that came out of the House are providing an easy on-ramp for institutions to drive into crypto. The last leg of growth in crypto, the last 10 years, was basically all retail. And if you look now, the institutional wave has begun. It's here. It's a question of how big it will be. But just based on the reception we've gotten thus far as part of our IPO, it feels like institutional investors think this could be the moment.
Institutional investors believe this could be the moment. And you look here, right? There's a big shift happening. Government institutional inflows into crypto. We've seen waves like this before, right? Wave one, you have the exchanges, Coinbase, Kraken, Crypto.com, Grayscale, Bitstamp, all of this, right? And then wave two is your regulated entities, your Visas, your JP Morgans, your HSBCs, your MasterCards, BBVAs, Citi, Standard Charter. This is a wall of money heading for the crypto space. Now, obviously not all money, right, is going to go into the crypto space, but when you're talking about tokenizing value, you do have quadrillions of dollars. Quadrillions. I hate that word. You have so much value that it wants to come on chain. And how quickly we're able to manage these expectations is really going to define how quickly some of these ecosystems and the values of these tokens will balloon up. If you ask me what are some good ecosystems people should be looking at today, this is very simple. Your XRPs, your HBARs, your XLMs, your Algorands, your Ondos, right? Your chain links. These are all areas and assets that I believe are going to have tremendous wealth. I just bought more ADA. I bought more SHX. I bought more XDC. These are all things that I believe are going to have tremendous value here in the future. And these are all projects that I believe in heavily. I am posting a lot of base projects, Ethereum-based projects in Cryptonaires, guys. If you're interested in joining my community, there is a 7-day trial. It's $50 a month. I posted something yesterday around this time. I woke up today, it was up 220%. That position itself was $6,000 on the upside in just one day. So hope to see you around the community, guys. If you want direct access to me, that's the best way to do it. I hope you enjoyed this video. And remember, hold these people accountable, right? These people will get up and say and do anything. But when you look under the hood here, you can see that there's no banks, no institutions, no countries rushing to work with World Liberty Financial. If they didn't have the connections to Donald Trump, you probably would have zero business. That's my personal feelings, and I'll stick to it. Nothing in this video should be taken as financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. I am not a financial advisor. Please seek financial advice if you need it. Let's get back to the video.